Hello and welcome. My name's Corey Payton and I'm with Life Horizons Coaching. Something I came across that is a really simple concept, and I'd like to teach it to you today, is something called above the line and below the line thinking. And yeah, it's something I take in to my coaching, and it's something I look at even in the name of my coaching business, which is Life Horizons Coaching. Because really what I want to teach people is in their life, when they get stuck, it's when they're really stuck, like below the line, with the problem, with complaining about something, with not seeing results in their life. They come to me with this area of being stuck. So what I like to do in coaching is ask those questions, how to transform that thinking to above the line thinking. So because we always want to be moving forward in life. We always want to look at areas in our life that we can improve and start seeing results in our life. So that's the idea of Life Horizons Coaching. Bringing people to what is the results, what is possible in their life. We really want to focus on what is possible in life, and there's even more abundance that we can experience, and just to grow. We all want to grow. We don't want to take 2 steps backward in our life. We want to move forward in our life, and this is really an important concept to understand. So first of all, I'd like to just explain a bit more about below the line thinking. So as I said, below the line thinking could be complaining. It could be the fear that we have in an area of our life. It could be just that feeling of being stuck, excuses, where you're procrastinating. Actually, we like to hold on to our story. Woe is me. Hope you can read that. It's kind of like, I can see it perfectly from here, but yeah, you get the idea. So it's our area of story, that area where we want to take people aside and say, let me tell you about my problem. Let me tell you about the issues in my life. Because secretly we want to get people to understand us, or get people on our side. We get stuck in here because we want to win. We don't want to lose. We might have experienced loss, and so now we want to win by strangely complaining to people about what happened. We can get really stuck in these areas, and again, your story is probably really bad, but in order to grow, we do need to let that go. We do need to look at, okay, how do we get above this? How do we move from this thing? So above the line thinking is things like choice, action, possibility, solution. So really, to get above the line, we need to really transform what we're experiencing below the line in our life. So if we're feeling stuck in our relationships, how do we bring about solution? How do we bring about a conversation in our relationship that brings about solution or understanding, or even hope? That's what is, in a way, below the line thinking is, I know I've tried everything and it's hopeless. But how can we say we've tried everything when really we might not have even spoken to a coach about it, or asked someone about it? So we can certainly transform something that's hopeless in your life to something that's hopeful. So yeah, you can see how this is really important to have this concept, so that we're constantly transforming our below the line thinking. So because we all have it, you know, I certainly still come across this in my life, you know, areas where I want to complain about, but when I realise I'm in that thinking, I need to straight away transform that to, okay, what can I do to have action here, or just see results in that area of being stuck, whatever it might be. So the very first step is to let go, you know, of that below the line thinking. In a way, to take off that cloak of sorrow and distress, as we hear in the first reading for this week of Advent in Baruch, that it talks about, you know, there's a call to Jerusalem, take off your cloak of sorrow and distress. So what are those areas where you're experiencing sorrow and distress? So, you know, that could be an area to focus on this Advent, to really just to let that go, and to really prepare yourself for the joy of Advent. What we celebrate at Christmas is God's action. You know, God took action in our lives. You know, He didn't stay in this area of complaining about us, or, you know, creating this excuse about us. He took action. You know, He did what He could to help us. So He sent His word. He sent, you know, His teaching. He did whatever He could. He took whatever action He could to actually liberate us from, you know, the areas where we're really stuck. We're really set in our ways. The gospel, you know, we hear about John the Baptist going around proclaiming repentance and to receive the good news. Again, you know, sin is really a below the line thinking. You know, sin is an area where, you know, we fall short of what we're called to be, or what we're called to do in our lives. So in a way, John the Baptist was preparing people for the coming of Jesus, the coming of His truth, by saying, hey, let go of this sin in your life and be ready to receive the truth. You know, we hear in the gospel that it says, it is written in the book of the sayings of the prophet Isaiah, a voice cries out in the wilderness, prepare a way for the Lord, make His path straight. Every valley will be filled in, every mountain and hill will be laid low. Winding ways will be straightened, and rough roads made smooth. And all mankind shall see the salvation of God. So, yeah, let every valley and mountain be laid low. You know, it's really making space, like letting go of these areas in your life where you're actually complaining or stuck or coming up with excuses, and be ready for what is possible in your life, what you can achieve, and what is the hope that you can bring into your life. So I wanted to end with the first reading, where it says, wrap the cloak of the integrity of God around you. Integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, the state of being whole and undivided. So the integrity of God is whole and undivided. And so the call is to wrap that around you, the cloak of God's integrity. And so God is certainly above the line in His thinking. You know, we already see that the action of Christmas it's an action. It's not a complaint. It's not an excuse, you know, to prove to the world how bad we are. It's Him reaching out to us. It's His solution. You know, His coming to us. It is His great act of integrity. And in a way, it's His word. You know, His word was his promise was to do this, to send his only son. And so really he's just fulfilling his word. And so in a way this Christmas we're celebrating the integrity of God. You know, what a great thing to celebrate. And at the same time, how can you prepare your life to have more integrity? You know, to let go of those stories you have in your life, that cloak of sorrow and distress, and put on a cloak of integrity. You know, how can you increase the integrity in your life? You know, make this Christmas count. You know, make this Advent count to prepare yourself, and for the rest of your life. You know, this is your life. You want to really grow, and that's something I want for you. You know, to grow in your life, to make decisions that lead to possibility, that lead to abundance, that lead to action, that lead to choice. And in order to do that, I think this concept is really important to understand. You know, to transform those areas, let go, and to take on what is possible.